South Beach Casino and Resort is located on the Brokenhead Ojibway First Nation, about 30 minutes north of Winnipeg. It is owned by 7 Manitoba First Nations. The casino opened for business in May 2005 and in 2008 opened a 95-room hotel adjacent to the casino. The owners of South Beach Casino and Resort are committed to sharing their success with surrounding communities and accordingly have made over $2 million in charitable donations for a variety of educational, health, and cultural projects. The hotel and casino employ approximately 240 people, 50% of whom are Aboriginal. The mission of the casino is to provide sustainable economic benefits and opportunities for First Nation communities and to create a catalyst for economic development. One of the main leaders in these economic and community developments has been Chief Deborah Chief, the elected chief at Brokenhead.
Good morning, everybody. I would like to welcome you to Treaty 1 territory and welcome to Brokenhead, to our wonderful community. In the past couple of years, we've really done a lot of development and things to improve our community, and we're very blessed to be able to have this establishment here, South Beach. The dream of making this casino a reality has been ongoing for about the last 20 years, so it's really something to see that it's here. It was a lot of work. You know, the people on the council, the former chief, did a lot of work in negotiating, hours and hours and hours in negotiating with the province, with the federal government. It was quite a huge undertaking. It was hard to find funding. None of the banks would touch it. You know, it was too risky. It was too much of a risk. Although, personally, I knew it would do really well because of the amount of traffic that passes by the highway. They wanted something different in the city. Everybody wanted to see it happen. There was a referendum vote on it, and the people said, yes, that's what we want. So finally it came to be, and it's a dream come true. It has definitely given us more opportunity to draw upon adding new businesses in the area. We can capitalize on that for sure. But it also comes with its challenges as well, because you have new people in the community, you have people bringing drugs in. Our community will never be the same, that's for sure. And we knew that. We could never turn back on going ahead with having the development in our community. We do have a couple businesses here. We hope to have more in the future. A place where our members can create their own businesses, and we've designated a certain area for the business development. So there's opportunity. We need to be able to encourage our people to know that they can run those businesses, manage them, own them, because it's there, it's here. We have land just outside of Winnipeg. Incredible opportunity. If you've seen the land that we have just waiting to be developed, it's just amazing. We have a good relationship with the municipalities where we have the land. We said, we want to work with you. We don't work against you. It's better to establish those relationships and get it on good terms. If people can see that we're business people, and it gives them a picture of what we're able to do, and improving that, getting rid of those stereotypes, Independence by 2025, that's the goal. And with that, our people will be able to have what they need, have the opportunity for jobs, have the opportunity for training, if they choose to. Having that opportunity to get out of that poverty. Like, I know our people have gone through a lot, but are we going to stay there? Are we going to do something to change it,
With economic development opportunities comes criticism and conflicting ideas about what is the right course to take. The Brokenhead administration and band governance has to negotiate this difficult process and deal with the opposition to their decisions. Remi is a band councillor and supports the leadership that Chief Deborah Chief has in place, her belief in a democratic approach to leading the community.
We all end up in a time and place for a reason, and I do believe that we're put in these positions for a reason, to help those changes, more of a positive change rather than going backwards. And I've seen our community slide backwards at times too. Like, it always depends on the leadership. Debbie's a very strong woman. She's someone that people that actually do respect. But then you always got those people that want power and control. And that's not what Debbie's about either. It's about looking at the future. And that's what I see where Debbie's very strong at being able to actually see and have a vision. Us as council, we're there basically to support and help her with that.
Her role as chief has not been without its challenges. But in the spring of 2009, there was a week-long sit-in by critics of the Band Council.
Difficult times. The most difficult time for me was when our own people came and took over the office. The occupation. First of all, I stood there for 4 hours getting questioned and yelled at and sworn at.
Concerns were primarily around the lack of communications and fiscal accountability on the contentious topic of casino revenues in the community.
That was bad. My mother stood there the whole time watching. I don't know how she would have felt about that.
When they had that protest, that was the hardest part. I was so hurt about that. I didn't think people would do that or be that way. It's unbelievable. I prayed for her. I went there every day to be close to her.
There comes a time when you need to stand up to the bullies. I think it gave me strength, even though it was traumatizing. It gave me strength to be able to stand up for something you believe in.
Chief Deborah Chief owes a great deal to her mother, who has been a backbone of support to her throughout her life, especially during her leadership career. She has stayed by her side through thick and thin and has never missed a band council meeting.
She's been to every band meeting, even though some of them were kind of rough.
I never used to bother about band meetings till she became chief. Just support her, be there for her. I knew she would be doing good, which she is.
Council meets every Monday, and we make our decisions by consensus, and it works well, for the most part. Sometimes we have a little disagreement we can't decide on, but we all generally come up with the same decision, and we live with that. We talk about it. If it's a difficult thing to decide, then we talk about it for a little bit more until we feel good about our decision.
Like when we first started out here, there wasn't no real structure to follow. Like, what does a councillor really do? There needs to be structure and more or less guidelines of what our roles are as a councillor.
We have a governance handbook, which is a draft right now, and we need to finish that because we've got our responsibilities. When you come into politics for the first time as a councillor, it's like, oh my God, what am I supposed to be doing? You know. So if you have something that says, here's what I'm supposed to be doing, then it makes it a little bit easier. Then you got to be guided, you know, along the way. Because, you know, when I first got into council, it was like, that was a long time ago, and there was nothing.
Chief Deborah Chief left her community to find work in Winnipeg when she was a teen. There she worked at the Friendship Centre and learned office skills. She found herself in need of help to overcome addictions and went to a treatment centre to heal. After her therapy, she eventually left the city to return to her home community and work.
And it's hard to come back to the community when you're out there because there's a lot of people that leave the community. You know why? Because there's always pain that we carry. There's always pain that has happened in our community. And growing up in your community, it's tough, you know? You want to escape, but there's also something that always wants to bring you back, you know? An old friend, we grew up together, he phoned me and he said, Debbie, there's a job at the band office. He says, why don't you apply? I said, yeah, I'll think about it. So eventually I did, and it was a position for a receptionist, and I applied, and they didn't want to hire me because I didn't know how to type, you know, big factor, you know. But they said, if you're willing to do some evening classes in typing, we'll hire you. I said, oh, sure, okay. I didn't know what a BCR was. I had no knowledge whatsoever about how the office was run, but I sure found out. Within about a year and a half, I was such a multitasker that I could do like 5, 10 things at once, just constantly. That's the way I learned to work at the Friendship Center. And then people appreciated that work, and I just kept working, and then I moved to a different position. I guess my reason for running for chief was I didn't like how some people were excluded from being part of the community, I guess, and not having opportunities. I didn't see it as being fair, so I ran and I got in, and then ran again this last term. So coming up to my second term, I don't believe I would be here if I wasn't supposed to be. I really believe that. None of my family had ever been in politics. I think we missed a couple generations. My great-grandfather was a chief for many years. And then none of my family was interested. My parents worked out of the reserve. They were never on welfare. They never bothered to ask for anything. They were very independent. My brothers, my sisters all worked off the reserve. I like people to take the responsibility and do what they can. And I see myself as a coach, as a guide.
Chief Deborah Chief is well known as a listener and a mentor to many. She has taken Naomi Nicholas under her wing and has been mentoring her since she began her job as the band membership clerk.
People always come to her, people always want to talk to her because she is like a true leader. She is somebody that you'd feel comfortable going to talk to about, anything. And she listens, and that's a big thing to me, is when somebody is listening to me and not just, speaking. And like when all that stuff happened, she took that and she used it, and she's still going. And it's just the fact of taking that negativity and making it into positive, something you could work with, and it helps you grow. For her to be there and, like she said, mentor me and everything, it's helping bring that out.
First Nations people are employed in all capacities, including management. Chief Deborah Chief believes in the future of Brokenhead and encourages youth to get education in order to come home and take on leadership roles in the future.
It's important for me to help our people get educated so that they can come back to work in our community. We have a lot of graduates in the past 4 years, especially. By the direction of the community, they wanted our people to get sponsored. So we take some of our money we make out of our own businesses and our revenue, and we pay for our education. At least $200,000 a year for the last 4 years. So it's about $800,000 we've spent on people, training them with our own money. I mean, we could do that. We could use the money for something else, but we choose to use it for our people, our young people, to get educated.
Basically, we're not here for power and control. It's basically to help make changes for the betterment of younger generations to come, and more or less blaze a lot of those paths for them.
And for the young people, I would like to be able to someday just go, there you go, you take over. This is what we've created for you to take over and for you to continue to grow. That's the goal.
Naomi is from the younger generation and has seen great changes in a very short period of time. Once a place of no hope for work, now a place that she has found a new home, a full-time job, and proudly calls Brokenhead her home.
I remember when I was about 8, I'd say, coming out here for Christmas dinner, and I didn't like coming out here because it looked so lonely. It didn't feel like a community, I guess you could say. And now it's like, wow, I'm proud to say this is my home, and I love it because it's away from the city, because it's so hectic out there.
My dreams for the community is that our community becomes self-sufficient, that we don't need to rely on anybody, and that we conduct our own business, and that we can provide for our young people. That's my dream.